What's up, guys, and welcome to Move to Action. Hey, I want to remind you I love you. I want to remind you I'm praying for you. I hope you watched last week where we talked about leaning into tension. One of the best leadership lessons I've ever applied in my life. You got to watch it if you didn't. One more, let me remind you why we do these videos, why we move to action. We do not have everything we need today to accomplish our wildest dreams. But if we will move to action consistently, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, we will end up right where God wants us to. Seeing the sun stand still, seeing mountains move. That's what we will see. If we will be faithful and move to action, God will make us fruitful. So that's what we're called to. I love you. I've got something pretty cool for you today. I'm excited to share with you. And so we're going to go back to the basics. Back to the basics of moving to action. Sometimes, if you're not careful, you will miss out on the fundamentals. The best coaches I had in football and rugby, they harped on the fundamentals. Fundamental tackling, fundamental running. They got it right so that it was such a second nature to do the fundamentals that I could do the hard things because I didn't have to worry about my feet. I didn't have to worry about all those things because the basics came naturally, but that takes hard work. So what we're going to talk about today is really probably one of the most foundational things when it comes to moving to action, and that is discipline. Discipline. I know that word is like cuss word. Some of you guys, discipline, maybe you think about working out or eating or your quiet time, something like that, but discipline can be difficult. However, none of us want to go through life and not do the difficult things. You know what I'm saying? We want to do the difficult things. Those are things that are remembered. Those are the things that change lives. We want to do the difficult things, and that will take discipline. It's what God called us to. Let me read this to you. This is in Hebrews 12, 11 through 13. Catch this. Listen to this. Great verse to memorize. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. No discipline is pleasant at the time, but painful. Got to stick through it. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who are trained by it. Let me ask you a question. What are you trained by? What are you trained by? And you may say, well, Zach, what do you mean? Well, do you look like the movies you watch or the friends you hang out with or the things that you eat? What do you look like? What are you trained by? Because God has called us to spiritual discipline, to physical discipline, so we look a certain way. We respond a certain way. What have you been trained by? Therefore, I love this right here. Therefore, strengthen your feeble arms and weak knees. Strengthen, some of us, can I just get a challenge to some of you guys? Some of you guys need to strengthen your feeble arms and your weak knees spiritually. And maybe you're insecure, you're not sure how to move, so you don't. Listen to me. Please borrow some of my strength, some of my faith. God has made you to change the world. Strengthen your arms, strengthen your knees, and move to action. We have to get into that discipline. We have to. Make level paths for your feet so that the lame may not be disabled, but rather healed. The ministry, the life that you're called to is one of supernatural. At the very foundation of who you are, you're not a student, you're not a son, you're not a daughter, you're not a husband, you're not a wife, you're not a professional. At the core of who you are a man or a woman of God. That's who you are. So what is the move step? Practically, what do I want you to do? Number one, I want you to write down in your life right now, what are you trained by? What influences you the most? Is it what God has called you to do? Is it the TV shows you watch? Is it just the thoughts that you think? Are you ruled by your emotions? What are you trained by? I want you to write that down. And then I want you to write down what is the discipline you need to add to your life. What are you trained by now in reality? And what discipline, start spiritually. That's the core of who you are. What discipline do you need to add to your life? And let me challenge you. Write it down. If you want to be so bold, comment on this YouTube, on this video. But write it down and tell somebody. People add power to the plan. People add power to the plan. If you want to be bold, you want to be disciplined, you want to be trained by things of God, strengthen your arms, strengthen your weak knees, and move to action. You are a world changer. You have to move to action. God has called you to do things that only you can do. I love you so much. I believe in you. I pray for you every day, and I can't wait to see what God does through you as you're disciplined, trained by Him, strengthened, and you move to action. I love you. I'll see you next week.